Hello YouTube, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another action thriller month. And this is it, guys. This is the worst movie I saw this year in 2022. It's a Sony movie, so you should not be surprised what it is. No, it's not Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I refuse to watch that. It's the other movie that came out this year that got delayed so much because of COVID and because of, Spider-Man No Way Home, etc., etc. And this is a 2022 American superhero film, and I say that lightly because it's most of the cast is not American. Just a handful of them are. Distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing. It is the third film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. Can you please stop doing this? Because without Spidey, this is not working. Without any Spider-Man, whether it's him or Miles, it's not working without them. Directed by Daniel Espinosa, written by these people are freaking apes that wrote this. Matt Sazama and Burt Sharpless. Yeah, the two dumbasses that did Gods of Egypt and Power Rangers 2017. Were you surprised that this movie was going to suck? I wasn't. Stars Jared Leto, Matt Smith, Adria Arjona, Jared Harris, Al Madrigal, and Tyrese Gibson. Yeah, Morbius. This movie was shit, guys. Plain and simple. It's the worst thing I've seen all year. I had no expectations for this movie when the trailer came out back in 2019. I knew it was going to suck. I told you guys from the very beginning it was going to suck. And this counts because it has action in it. Bad action, but it's there. In the film, Morbius and his surrogate brother Milo become living vampires after curing themselves of a rare blood disease. Yeah, that they have to be on crutches and, get fluid through their arms and all that IV. I'm like, yeah. And the movie is unpleasant. That's one thing that these critics have not said, or anybody on YouTube. This film is unpleasant. It's unpleasant to look at. It's depressing. It's not funny. It's dreary. It's trying to be Batman Begins, but a shittier version of it in 92 minutes. Yeah, this movie is edited down. The watered-down PG-13 really reduces this film's impact. Blade came out in 1998, and that had a bigger impact in the theater than this. Yeah, Blade. And that came out in 98 when I was 13 years old. This shit comes out now. It should have just been shelved. Because I didn't want to see this movie in the theater. I refused. I skipped it. Because if a Marvel movie's not an MCU film, I usually skip it. I've had a lot of problems with Marvel this year. Whether it be the Sony films or their Disney Plus shows. They've been very hit and miss. But this is the worst. This is the worst Marvel thing that's come out this year. And the film is just dreary. It's boring. The action is way too short. The slow-mo is like freaking Zack Snyder slow-mo. And it doesn't look good. It's slashes somebody, no blood. The camera gets a little blood, but that's it. Biting someone's neck, no gush of blood. There's barely any blood. There's blood in the movie, but it's very, very watered down. Yeah. It's that the movie was supposed to come out in summer 2 years ago, but because of COVID, primarily due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it received largely negative reviews. You think? This is one of the worst films of 2022. My worst, because it personally insulted me with how much potential this had, and it blew it out its ass. Criticism towards its writing. Yeah, this writing is horrendous. I'm starting to get hungry, and you don't want to see me when I'm hungry. What is this? The freaking Hulk movie from 2008? That made no freaking sense. The visual effects, yeah, they're terrible. Like I said, even the makeup on Morbius and Milo looks like shit. It looks worse than Angel and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then think about it. Those shows came out in the late 90s. Shame on you, freaking Sony, shame. The post-credit scenes added nothing either. The first one, they showed the Vulture after the crack in the sky with Multiverse of Madness, that he shows up in a prison cell and they find him. Doesn't meet Morbius until the end in the second post-credit scene. And he's like, I want to form a team. The Sinister Six. Stop trying to make this happen, Sony. You almost had it with No Way Home. You're not going to get it done. Because no one's going to see a 6-villain movie without Spider-Man. It doesn't freaking work. Okay? It doesn't work. Smith's performance received praise. Why? Matt Smith is a fucking cartoon in this movie. They start as kids, and they show them sick. He gets beat up, etc. 20-something years passes by. Morbius goes to Costa Rica, gets his hand on blood next to these bats, becomes the vampire later on. And Matt Smith, after he's sick, he's like, hey, Morbius, what's up? Oh, you get to live and I get to die. Is that it? His accent just blows. It blows chunks. I know he's British, Josh. Don't attack me. Please do not attack me. I never liked this actor. I didn't watch Doctor Who. He was only good in that because of Karen Gillan. Because he had someone to rapport against. Him and Leto have no chemistry whatsoever. And also, Leto's not the problem with the movie. I thought he was going to be because he sucked in Suicide Squad as a Joker. He's the worst Joker I've seen live action. With his overacting and he doesn't even have a laugh in this movie. He's just very subdued. He's not the problem. Matt Smith is one of the problems. He's overacting. As soon as he gets cured, he's dancing with his shirt off like a freaking dumbass. This is worse than Spider-Man 3, okay? Think about that. That was a dance scene, the part of the plot. This is a dance scene that just is there to fill time. And like I said, the scene where he's like overacting, I trying to be Jim Carrey. You're not Jim Carrey, dude. You don't have his comedic timing. You don't have his energy. You don't have his charisma. Okay? You don't. You're pale and you're boring. Maybe House of Dragon he's good because he's not a cartoon, but in this movie he fucking sucks. This is one of the Razzie performances of 2022. I don't care what the critics say. His performance sucked from a straw. There's no way that this was a good performance. He's overacting like a freaking Looney Tune. Jesse Plemons in Jungle Cruise did a better performance, and he was not a cartoon like this. The way they killed him off was a cartoon, and the film's just forgettable. The girl in it barely has anything to do. She's gorgeous, great ass, but has nothing to do in it. She's just a nurse. Tyrese, why is he in this movie? Oh yeah, to be the token black diversity hire that's just there. He just has no energy. He's bored, out of his mind. The guy next to him, the comic relief that he had was not funny. Making stupid jokes, even though this movie is not funny at all. The jokes fall flat on their face, just like She-Hulk, but I'll get to that one day. And this movie deserved to bomb at the box office. It really did. It grossed $74 million on a budget of $90. That's a flop. It hurts so bad. This is the same movie that came out the same month as Sonic 2. A much better movie that's way funnier, and it's for kids. And worldwide it made 164, but costing, the advertisement and all the pushbacks because of COVID and the reshoots, yeah, this movie needed to be an R rating. Stop making these dumbass villain movies PG-13. Kids aren't going to see a villain movie. Joker made $1 billion, and that was R rated. It wasn't any of this CGI slow-mo bullshit from the 2000s or the 2010s. The Matrix came out over a decade ago, right? Over 2 decades ago. All 3 movies, except for the one last year. We don't need to do it anymore. We don't want to see slow-mo anymore. That train scene at the train station, them swirling around like a freaking Harry Potter vampire, or not vampire, like those the Death Eaters and all that. No, it looked like shit here. It really did. And it's just like, it's uneventful. This movie would have sucked even if it was released 2 years ago. And look at the consensus. Yeah, they were too kind on it. 15%, it deserves that. It's a horrible movie. If you haven't seen this, skip it. Go watch Blade. Blade 2. Even Blade Trinity is better than this. As dumb as it is, it's still R-rated. It's not a watered-down PG-13. The website consensus reads, cursed with uninspired effects, rote performances, and a borderline nonsensical story, this dreary mess is a vain attempt to make Morbius happen. It didn't happen. You know why they didn't put him in Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home or No Way Home? Because he's a lame villain. And the only reason they wanted to make this so that he could compete with Blade. That Blade is coming back into the MCU. He's going to be in the MCU in his own show. I hope to God that's not like freaking She-Hulk or Moon Knight. I don't need any origin story. Just get to the freaking killing. Just do a flashback where his mom got bit by a vampire, like in the movie from '98, and just move on. I don't need to see any more backstories, because then you make it boring. I'm tired of talking in movies. Just talk a little bit and get to the freaking action already, or throw in some jokes, because I'm really getting tired of these Marvel projects where there's way too much fucking talking. And this movie's not even so bad, it's good. They praise the acting in the film, so including Leto. Leto's trying. Unlike in Suicide Squad, where he was just being a cartoon, he is at least attempting a performance. It's not his fault he had to be bombarded with bullshit dialogue, bad writing, and a plot that just doesn't go. It goes way too fast. You have he becomes a vampire, then Milo becomes a vampire after he gets out of prison, and they fight, and then the movie's over. Wow, I cream my pants. Internet memes, and he doesn't say it's Morbin time. If you're looking for that, that's not in the movie. Due to his lackluster box office performance and dour critical reception, Morbius inspired various internet memes. A hate watch, yeah. Even as a hate watch, it was just killing me. And the film, yeah, received a resurgence in internet memes following its release to video on demand, invoking the fake catchphrase, "It's Morbin time." A play on Power Rangers, "It's Morphin time." Yeah, and it's shit. Like, this movie made me... I can forgive a lot of the other... not even Sony movies, but a lot of the Fox X-Men and Fantastic Four movies over this shit. I still hate Fan Snorestick. It's boring because there's only one action sequence. But that movie is shorter than this. Also, the 2005 movie, Rise of Silver Surfer. Even X-Men 3 is better than this, and that's saying a lot, because I don't like that movie, but the action is way better. It's not this slow-mo garbage. It's better action. It's a PG-13 that has some grit to it, because people get blown up in that movie. Here, they get bitten or slashed, and they shake a little bit, and then they fall. There's no impact. You can't be PG-13 to death. And I don't want a sequel to this. This movie is shit. Don't watch it. If you've seen the movie already, I pity you because, you know, it hurt everybody that saw this. My friend Tevia saw it. Josh saw this. Evan saw this, I believe. They all saw this bullshit, and it's horrible. The future. Leto said there was a potential for Morbius to appear alongside Blade. I don't want to see that. Unless Blade cuts his head off and feeds it to a shark. I don't want to see that. That December, in discussing the multiverse in No Way Home, Leto said there was potential for further crossovers. I don't want to see a crossover. No Way Home fixed problems like the Lizard and Electro and even Sandman. They made him just in sand form. He never had a human form in that. And it worked. Because I was invested. I wasn't invested in this bullshit movie. It's boring. Jared Harris isn't barely in the movie. I don't care about that actor anyway. You know, who else? Corey Johnson portrays mercenary Mr. Fox. Yeah, I don't even remember who he is. The kids in the movie, they were okay, but they're not in the film that much. And I just wasn't invested. Next time, get me invested with somebody. Stop hiring writers that did these shitty films in the 2010s. Madam Web, I don't know about it. Just Dakota Johnson can act, but if these two writers fuck it up again, what's even the point anymore? I'm not seeing Kraven the Hunter next year. I've had enough, Sony. You can't make a good movie anymore unless Spidey's in it. You can't make a good movie anymore. You suck. You're going to be bought out by Disney if you keep fucking up like this. I hated this movie so much. All these other films that I hated this year at least had something that I liked in it. This was just painful to watch. And don't watch it, guys. That's all I can say about Morbius. It was a failure of epic proportions, and there's a reason why nobody will remember this movie next year. It's forgotten. You know, it's a bad film. It made a lot of people's worst lists already, and it doesn't deserve to even be. Don't even rent it. Don't buy it. Don't download it. Don't even stream this when it's on Netflix or whatever. Don't. It's not worth your time. It's a stain on the Marvel name. Worse than anything else this year. So that's all I got to say about Morbius, guys. It sucked. Avoid it. Don't even bother. Go watch No Way Home again. Or Far From Home. Or even Homecoming. Into the Spider-Verse was better. And that was CGI animated. At least it had a plot that made sense. Here, there's nothing. It's an empty shell. A husk of a movie. And I hated it. So thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you in the next one.